Good day, I'm Lorraine Mendez and this is your JIS News for Tuesday, May 31. Ground will be broken shortly to construct 35 housing units in Denhamtown, Kingston. The new development, dubbed Victoria Villa, will be located adjacent to St. Albans Primary School. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says ground will also be broken for a development in Rasta City in short order.
The contracts have been have been tendered, and hopefully that process can be completed quickly so we can start the development for Rasta City. And Minister Mackenzie has just told me that he has identified some funds to start the upgrade of Board Villa. So the work continues for West Kingston.
Mr. Holness was speaking at a Thanksgiving service for the life of the late former Prime Minister, the Most Honourable Edward Seaga, on Sunday. He says the housing infrastructure and other developments are in keeping with Mr. Seaga's vision for the constituency, for which he was Member of Parliament from 1962 until his retirement from active politics in 2005.
Above everything else, what he wanted was a community of peace. He wanted the people of West Kingston to be able to live in peace.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness says his administration is making significant strides in ensuring that the Jamaican labour force has adequately skilled workers. Part of that work, according to Mr. Holness, is investment in the transformation of the island's education system to produce competent Jamaicans. The Prime Minister says the restructuring exercise currently in train at the Heart NSTA Trust is also aimed at bringing skilled labour to the market.
We have completed the process of finding managing director for Heart, and once we have that in place, then we're going to ramp up our activities to ensure that we can rapidly bring to market the skills aligned to the needs of the private sector.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness made the remarks as he opened ITEL BPO's latest complex at Chalmers Avenue in Kingston. The 90,000 square foot complex is a $7 million investment in the BPO sector. ITEL BPO now has 6,000 employees across 3 offices on the island. The Port Authority of Jamaica, PAJ, is reporting that there is no disruption to operations at the Falmouth Port in Trelawney. A mooring dolphin at the pier was damaged last Thursday when Royal Caribbean cruise line vessel Harmony of the Seas came in contact with the extension of the dock. In a statement, the PAJ says its engineering department is currently assessing the damage and that a joint investigation with Royal Caribbean will be done to determine the cause of the incident. Upon receipt of the investigators' report, the authority says it may opt to convene a formal inquiry into the accident. Royal Caribbean says there were no injuries to guests or crew, only minor damage to the cruise vessel, which was repaired the same day. Meanwhile, the PAJ is reassuring the public and all stakeholders that the incident will not result in any disruption to cruise shipping operations or require any adjustments to cruise schedules. $167 million is expected to be saved with the full rollout of the National Identification System NIDS to persons with disabilities and Justices of the Peace JPs. Minister without portfolio in the Office of the Prime Minister, Floyd Green, says issuing the NIDS card to these groups will eliminate the need to print separate cards and replace the need for the identification service of a JP.
When we think digital, we are ensuring that we make the lives of Jamaicans easier and more hassle-free.
Minister Green says the Jamaica Council for Persons with Disabilities has agreed to using the International Access sign to represent persons with disabilities at the rear of the card. Justice of the Peace will be represented by an identifier also at the rear of the card. Minister Green says government will be partnering with the Jamaica Post to modernize 24 post offices across the island, which will be used as NIDS enrollment sites. Work is expected to start this month on the expansion of the Chambers Pen water supply system. Local Government and Rural Development Minister Desmond Mackenzie says the successful bidder is to sign the contract with the Rural Water Supply Limited. Groundbreaking for the project will follow, and completion is estimated for the end of September this year.
Through this project, approximately 1,500 residents in 300 households, Madam Speaker, will benefit from water supply from over 52 million gallons of fresh water every day, Madam Speaker. Additionally, 300 service connection to the National Water Commission Great River Treatment Plant will be installed and we are providing, Madam Speaker, over 300 400-gallon black tanks to be delivered to each household in Chambers.
Cost of the overall project, including works that have already been completed, is $30 million. And finally, collective voices from stakeholders are being raised to reiterate the call for an end to violence against children in Jamaica. Data shows that the Child Protection and Family Services Agency, CPFSA, receives 12,500 calls on matters of child abuse annually, or an average of 34 calls per day. Minister of Education and Youth Favour Williams says the task is of great importance to get the message out that violence against children is not accepted and persons should not normalize it. Minister Williams was speaking at the opening ceremony for the National Policy Dialogue on Ending Violence Against Children recently.
With the 211 helpline and that of the Office of the Children's Advocate, we're getting more calls, which is telling us that the problem is worse than we thought.
It is our hope that together we can continue to purposely and passionately advance the protection of our children from abuse and allow them to live with rights assured and in dignity.
Data from the Jamaica Survey of Living Conditions shows that corporal punishment is the most used method across urban and rural areas, as well as across age groups, genders, and social classes. The data shows, however, that children in the corporate area are more likely to be exposed to corporal or psychologically aggressive methods of punishment than those in rural areas. Meanwhile, the top 3 corporal punishment methods are slapping, beating with an implement, and pinching. Almost 70% of boys and 65% of girls are likely to be slapped. The National Policy Dialogue is Jamaica's premier in-country contribution to the Together to End Violence Solutions Summit series. This was launched in December 2020 by the Global Partnership to End Violence Against Children, to which Jamaica became a signatory in 2016. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Lorraine Mendez. Thanks for watching.